By the end of this video, I'm going to share with you how to reuse other people's videos on TikTok so you can post them, go viral, and ultimately get paid for it. In fact, this is the same thing that this creator did to make over $10,000 a month by simply reposting content from other platforms on TikTok. And this creator was able to do the same thing also. And by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what you need to do to create the perfect video, the perfect hook, the perfect description, and ultimately do all of this in a legal way so you can get paid. Because at the end of the day, the only reason that this isn't currently working for you is because you're messing up one of the 3 steps. Step number 1 is you need to have a constant list of what is trending within your niche for the last 72 hours on TikTok. And there are several different ways to do this, but essentially you need to have multiple different videos because you're gonna have to cut up multiple different videos to make each video. On top of that, when a topic does well, you wanna be able to double down on it as soon as humanly possible, because if you're not doing that, well then you're missing out on how the TikTok algorithm actually works, and you could test this yourself. If you go to TikTok and engage with a certain type of content or content on a certain topic, guess what ends up happening? You keep getting shown that same exact content over and over again, and you need to use this to your advantage so you can make more money from TikTok. So the first way that you can figure out exactly what's trending on TikTok is you're gonna come over to TikTok, you're gonna go into TikTok Studio, you're gonna scroll down, and you're gonna see Creation Inspirations. Now this is gonna show you what is trending across TikTok in general. If you come to Recommended, this is going to show you content that your viewers have searched for, what your followers have viewed, and so much more. But it doesn't stop there. That's just the first way that you can find exactly what is trending on TikTok. The second way that you could do it is if you come over to TikTok, you wanna come over to the search bar, and you wanna type in Creator Insight Search, and then we're going to click on this right here, and what you're going to be able to do is see different suggested videos based on what is actually trending within your niche. You're going to be able to see content gaps, you're going to be able to see searches by followers, and you'll even be able to see TikTok shop posts, which are posts that you could participate in and get paid for it. Now what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're doing those 2 things and that you have a complete list of your competitors on TikTok. So all the people that show up under both of those different tools, you want to put them in a spreadsheet so that you can constantly check that to see what else is trending. For example, this is what mine looks like, and essentially I'm able to go through this and I have almost 30 different creators and I can look at their page and see what's trending. For example, if I come to Sam over here, I pull up his TikTok, I'm gonna be able to see exactly what type of content is trending. Like he's uploaded all this content recently, but this video got over 288,000 views, and this video almost 450,000, and this video almost 360,000. So clearly the topic of those videos, the format of the videos, or something that was going on is something that will help me get more views on TikTok, which ultimately is going to equate to getting paid more money. So now at this point, you should have several different pieces of content that you know are doing well in your niche on TikTok in the last 72 hours after you go through these 3 methods. And now what we need to do is figure out exactly how you're going to take that content and repost it on a TikTok so you can get paid. But before I show you exactly how to do that, I did want to make sure that you're aware of the best way that you can monetize your TikTok right now and all the current trends that are happening on TikTok so you can make more money. For example, how you should actually be tracking the performance of your account if you want to be able to monetize your TikTok, and different tips and best practices so that you can create content that your ideal viewer actually wants to watch and engage with. Lucky for you, HubSpot just released a brand new marketer's guide to TikTok for business that you can get at the pinned comment below, and it's 100% free. This report is going to share with you different ways that you can monetize your TikTok right now, how and why you should be running ads to help promote your TikTok, and several other things that are going to help you grow quicker on TikTok and ultimately be able to make more money from it. My favorite part about the report is the part about how you can accurately track your performance and your account, and how you should actually be judging your account if you're trying to monetize, because that's going to be completely different than just trying to maximize how many views you get or how many followers you're gaining. So if you're struggling with monetizing your TikTok, or you just want to be able to make more money from TikTok, I'd strongly suggest you go to the pinned comment below and get the free report right now. So there are essentially 3 different ways that you can use the content that we found earlier and be able to monetize it. The first way that you do that is you do a reaction the same way that Mike did a reaction right here. So Mike is going to get paid for creating this TikTok because he is reacting to an even bigger TikTok. What he did right here is took a screenshot about home ownership and how it's a huge scam. So what he's doing here is reacting to this, and his ideal audience is going to love this. And guess where he found this video? He found this video in his Studio Insights because it was a popular video that his audience was watching. So clearly this is something a lot of people engage with. So what he did, he went ahead, he he reacted to this video, and boom, he was able to get over 100,000 views simply for just reacting to a video that already existed on TikTok. And the reason that this video had so many views is because the TikTok algorithm knew that it was popular. And this isn't the only time that he's done it, and it's not the only way that he's done it. In fact, he did it right here again and got over 173,000 views. But instead, with this time, what he ended up doing was he put the video that he found for the first few seconds, and then he came in and he actually reacted towards the end of the video. And again, he was able to take somebody else's piece of content that he already knew a lot of people liked, a lot of people engaged with, and he was able to piggyback on the back of that to make his content do better so he could get paid for it. So he took somebody else's content and is legally getting paid for just reacting to it. Now, the next way to use the content that you found is to do something like what this creator right here is going to do. Watch this.
I highly recommend this movie. Watch.
Now, all she did was literally just edit in a hook, tell you she highly recommends something or says that something is crazy, and then she goes ahead and actually shows you that thing. And what she does is react to it periodically along the way, so it is technically a new piece of content. She has done this several different times. For example, she did that here, she did it here, and she literally goes viral all the time simply by doing this with all of these different clips. And then finally, what you could do is you could do something like what this page right here is doing. So if we come over here, we filter by popular, we're going to see that they basically just found a bunch of really good clips of famous baseball players before they were famous, posted them, and get millions and millions of views. In fact, they were making over $10,000 a month when they were doing this as much as humanly possible. For example, they'll do right here, best 13-year-olds in Japan. And all they did was took this clip from YouTube or took it from Instagram, put it on TikTok, and they adjusted it a little bit, and they were able to get paid for it through the TikTok Creator Rewards program. He did the same thing right here with Trevor Bauer. He did the same thing right here with farthest home runs in baseball travel history. And essentially what you want to do is do content like this where you can take it and then upload it to TikTok. It's going to be really long. A lot of people are going to watch it. And if you did this for a single sport, you'd be able to do this for several different sports so long as you mashed up a bunch of videos. Because what they did here was not took one video, they took several different videos, mashed them up, and created basically a compilation out of that. Now, before I share with you the last and most important step to this whole thing, which is really going to allow you to get monetized, I need to make sure that you don't make a few mistakes that I see so many people make when they try to create content like this. First and foremost, you need to make sure that you never have a platform's watermark within your content. You can't have the TikTok watermark, you can't have the YouTube watermark, you can't have the Instagram watermark. You need to make sure that you're removing that because TikTok doesn't want to promote other platforms' watermark. Secondly, you need to make sure that you do not use somebody's entire video. You cannot do that. You need to make sure that you are adding to the video, you need to make sure that there's commentation going on in the video, or you need to just be creating a net new video. You cannot just take somebody else's piece of content and post it on your own page. This is gonna get a copyright strike and it could end up hurting your TikTok further down the line. If you do this to a bunch of people, they go and report you and then it's going to take your content down. So please make sure that you are actually adding to the content and creating a new piece of content, because if you want to get paid using somebody else's works, that's what you need to do. You need to actually add to it and make it a brand new piece of content. The next thing that you need to make sure that you're doing is you need to make sure that the content you create is over 1 minute long. Ideally, you should be creating content that's 2 minutes long, 3 minutes long, 4 minutes long, even 5 minutes long, because this is the type of content TikTok is actually going to pay you for. And you need to pay very close attention to the topics that TikTok is actually going to pay you for, because not every topic is created equally. And the older the demographic that you could watch the content that you're going to be reposting and creating, well, guess what? It's going to increase the amount of money that they actually end up paying you. In fact, I've seen creators make as much as $1 to $2 for every 1,000 views that they get. So think about that. If they get a video with 1 million views, they're making $1,000 to $2,000 simply for making that one video. And if you're able to do that several times a month, you can make a lot of money simply for posting on TikTok. And then finally, you need to make sure that you're doing this in a niche that is sustainable. You don't want to do it in a niche that goes viral once every few months. You want to make sure that it's a niche where there are constantly viral videos. For example, things like horror stories, things like the news, things like stories in general, or sports. There is constantly content that you can create. And even with sports, there are going to be down periods. For example, we're in the middle of the World Series right now, or leading up to the World Series, so baseball content is going to do really good. So if you're running a baseball page, you should probably also run a soccer page, also run a basketball page. Maybe you want to do some other random sports page, because sports have seasons, and you need to take that into consideration when you're going to build up an account like this, because it will ebb and flow with how many views you get and how much money you actually make from the content. So that last and final step that you need to be focused on is you need to make sure that the only content you're creating are on topics that have gone viral in the last 72 hours and that your hook is going to be really good. And there are essentially two different ways you could craft a really good hook on TikTok. The first one is going to be using something like ChatGPT to give you a few options for a 3 to 5 second hook for what you could say in your video when you're going to be reacting to something, or if you're going to be creating a compilation. And then ChatGPT is going to be able to tell you which one of those hooks are the best. The other thing that you could do is simply look at what other people are doing on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube, because one of the number one things that you should be doing is having a swipe file of the best hooks that you've seen so you can begin to use that in your content. Because if somebody doesn't get through the first 3 to 5 seconds, guess what? They're not watching your minute-long video, your 2-minute-long video, your 3 or 4 or 5-minute-long video, and if you can't get them to just engage with the first few seconds, then clearly you're not gonna get paid from TikTok. And then the final thing that I really want to emphasize when it comes to monetizing TikTok is you ideally need to be creating several videos about the same topic. Don't just rely on one video to make you go viral. Sometimes you need 2 to 3 different videos because it might be the second or third video that goes viral, or maybe it's the first that goes viral and then the second and third also go viral. And essentially you want to post in bunches because once somebody sees one of those videos, they're then going to get recommended your second video and your third video, and this is how you end up actually making a lot of money from TikTok. So you don't just have one video that went viral, you end up having several videos that go viral. Now at this point, the only reason you're not getting the same results is because you simply don't know what you should be posting, don't know how to change your post, or maybe you just don't know how to put together a good post on TikTok, and I personally want to help you with that. And that's exactly why I'd strongly suggest you check out this video right here that shares with you the 3 different ways that we could work together so I can help you one-on-one, grow on TikTok, and finally be able to monetize your account.